we got several major problems. I almost started it with, we've got a problem. We got a lot of problems. Ed Martin happens to be a big, big problem, not only for the country as a whole, not only for me and my family personally, but also for Donald Trump. Because they're laying bare, they've just taken the mask off. It's no longer a dog whistle of adherents to Donald Trump and the cult, to his interest. It's a fucking a fire hose of sycophancy with these people. The other day, the U.S. Attorney's Office for Washington, D.C., under Ed Martin, who's a Stop the Steal funder. He funded the rally that ended in an insurrection against the country. That's the person Donald Trump has made the acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. Someone who's handling the case that is before them right now, that was investigated by both the Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI here in Washington, D.C., the death threat. I talked about this in April of last year. We're still waiting for a prosecution. A man who called the voicemail line that I give, 714-576-4054, called, left two different messages. One was to murder me because I said something he disagreed with, and also to rape and murder my wife, Brittany Page. The U.S. Attorney that I have no confidence is going to prosecute the case of the person who threatened to rape and kill my wife. He posted this to Twitter. As President Trump's lawyers, that's not what they are. We'll get to that. But as President Trump's lawyers, we are proud to fight to protect his leadership as our president, and we are vigilant in standing against entities like the AP, the Associated Press, that refuse to put America first. Chris Murphy has something to say about this, senator from Connecticut. We're going to get to that. But before I do, I want to remind you that this is also the man who is sending letters, threatening letters of criminal investigation, criminal prosecution to the likes of milquetoast Chuck Schumer, not a firebrand, Chuck Schumer, and Robert Garcia, congressman from California, for threats against Elon Musk and Neil Gorsuch, I guess. But this post is concerning. This is alarming. This is out of line with what the constitutional role of a United States attorney is. Just so you know, here's what we'll do. There are two things primarily that U.S. attorneys do. One is prosecuting criminal cases and also participating in civil action in the United States courts. That's it. They are not Donald Trump's lawyers. They're not even the president's lawyers. We are proud to fight to protect his leadership. Their role is not to protect. Here's what I'll do. This is from the DOJ. This is from the Department of Justice's page about the U.S. attorney's offices. Charged with ensuring that the laws be faithfully executed, the 93 United States attorneys work to enforce federal laws throughout the country. The president appoints a U.S. attorney to each of the 94 federal districts. Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands are separate districts but share a U.S. attorney. The U.S. attorney is the chief federal law enforcement officer in their district and is also involved in civil litigation where the U.S. is a party, like I just said. And there's also some other element about collecting debts that aren't actionable or they can't just pull out of somebody's bank account. I think that's another element of it. But they are certainly not the Donald Trump's lawyers. They're not there to protect his leadership. And they're certainly not there to criminally prosecute or persecute a journalistic outlet who doesn't want to put America first, whatever that means. Ed Martin. Really, you should check this out. There are some bangers in here, brother. And in here nowhere does it say that you can punish journalistic outlets for not putting America first. And remember, the not putting America first is calling the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico because it's the Gulf of Mexico. Chris Murphy, senator from Connecticut, had this to say, and I think it's poignant. One, because it points to the kind of leadership we need in this time, with elected leaders who are just like, oh, I'm very concerned. I don't know what to do. Chris Murphy doesn't seem to be one of those types, and I'm appreciative for that. He said, this is insane. If you wonder why some of us think the rule of law is about to fall, excuse me, I don't have my glasses on. It's this. The U.S. Attorney for D.C. is not President Trump's lawyer, and its job is not to protect his leadership, nor prosecute people who refuse to put America first. I guess it was more on spot on with what I just said, but it's good to hear it from elected leaders, elected members of the United States Senate. They need to keep banging this drum. And also, when he comes before the Senate for confirmation, they need to vote against this goon. I mean, it's likely that John Fetterman will step out of line and vote because he is a Trump sycophant now. I have no idea what's happening there. But we need leadership in these times. We need bravery. We need valor that shouldn't be even considered valor, because you should not fear prosecution for telling the truth, for being an opponent of the President of the United States. I shouldn't feel nervous about, well, are they going to come for me because I'm an opponent of Donald Trump? Are they going to gin up some bullshit because I've spoken out against Donald Trump? That I've mocked him for blocking me on Twitter because he's a coward and a feckless loser? Should I worry about that? Or should I rely on the fact that my First Amendment rights under the Constitution are protected by the Constitution? That I'm a fully actualized citizen with all the rights and responsibilities that come with that? Yeah. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. We can mix it up there. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me at the old email, daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work. You can click the join button, and for $2 a month, become a channel member. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, and you can do me a huge favor. If you're a Connecticut resident, a citizen in Connecticut, reach out to Chris Murphy. I want to get him on the show. I'd love to talk to him about this and several other things that he's doing right. It could be a lesson for other United States senators. So reach out to the old Senator Murphy for Jesse D. I'd appreciate that very much. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.